You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day. I'm Melissa Link from the Archdiocese of Chicago Office of Catholic Schools. I'm joined remotely this morning by Ronnie Faison, principal at St. Francis de Sales High School, and we'd both like to welcome you to this edition of Catholic Schools Today. We're broadcasting live on WNDZ Radio 750 AM, and we're also streaming live to our Facebook community and also on our YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. Good morning, Ronnie. Are you there?
I am. Good morning, Melissa. How are you? Happy St. Valentine's Day.
Good. Happy St. Valentine's Day to you, too. I feel like it's been a long time no see. We've been out of the studio and remote, and I'm so excited to get to be with you, even remotely this morning.
Oh, most certainly. And what a great day for us to do that. We got some amazing guests today that we get to chit chat with. And so it's an exciting morning.
It is. Before we meet our guests, I do have to ask you, as a proud principal of a Catholic high school, since it's Valentine's Day, what do you love the most about Catholic schools?
Everything. I can sit and gush about St. Francis de Sales for hours on end, being a proud alum of the school and now back as their principal. There's nothing that I don't love about the work that we do. The value that we give to students' lives are real. I see it in every day, right? Last night during the Super Bowl, one of my kiddos texts me and he says, "Hey, Ms. Faison, did you just see that Pringles commercial?" And I go, "Yeah." And he was just, even the banter, little things are big things, and we get to do that work together. So it's exciting. But today we're going to be passing out goodies to all of our teachers. I had these beautiful chocolate covered strawberries made for them. So we get to it's an excuse to tell people that you love them. So that's what I love about today.
I love that. And I love Catholic school teachers too. I think if someone were to ask me the same thing, I would say that I love teachers the most in Catholic schools. I'm a little biased because I was a teacher for 17 years, but I know that teachers really give their hearts and their souls to their students, as do principals and families, but teachers certainly are dedicated and committed, just really beyond comprehension. So happy Valentine's Day to you.
Happy Valentine's.
Thanks. Should we meet our first guests?
Absolutely.
Great.
I'm so excited. I got to chit chat with them a little bit off air, so I'm excited.
I'm excited too. First up this morning, we are pleased to welcome guests from FENWICK High School. FENWICK provides an environment that focuses on developing the whole student, including rigorous academics, competitive athletics, and the Dominican Catholic pillars. Coach Dave Power has been giving life lessons, building community, and leading the FENWICK girls basketball team for the past 29 years, with 2 state championships and the most all-time wins in girls high school basketball in Illinois. During his final regular season home game last week, the basketball court was officially named Coach Power Court. Joining us this morning are Dave Power, head coach of the FENWICK girls basketball team, and Scott Tice, director of athletics at FENWICK. Welcome to you both.
Welcome. How are you?
Good morning.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for having us.
Thanks for being here.
So it's so exciting. I feel like we're like amongst royalty here, right? Coaching royalty. 45 years coaching, Coach Dave, 3-time Coach of the Year for the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association, National Coach of the Year by EA Sports. What haven't you done is my question. My first, what haven't you done, Coach?
Well, I didn't do that by myself. I've had a lot of great talent, great assistant coaches, and great leadership, and you have to have an athletic director that lets it happen. So, what I haven't done, I'm going to find that out now that I'm not going to be coaching after this year. I have to try to figure that out.
Awesome. Can you talk a little bit about how you began in coaching? How did this life kind of pursuit start?
Well, when I was in 3rd and 4th grade, I was into science, running around with a butterfly net. My dad put up a hoop for my older brother and playing basketball with his friends, and I think I embarrassed him. One day I went to a game at Glenbard West, 1960, and saw the packed gym, saw 11 out of 12 guys dunk and warm up, saw the concession stand, and saw the cheerleaders. So all of a sudden I put the butterfly net down and started shooting hoops. And I discovered that my sister was way better than my brother or I in basketball. So that's kind of what got me started interested, I think, in coaching basketball, and particularly girls.
I love, Coach Dave, how you immediately mentioned that you don't do it by yourself, that it takes a team, and you are in collaboration with so many people around you. So I wonder if Scott's joining us. Scott, in your position as the Director of Athletics at FENWICK, since you probably know Coach Dave best, what's the best part of working with him and collaborating with him?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that I enjoy working with Coach Power about. When I think over the years, one of the things that he's provided is just great institutional knowledge. He has great instincts when it comes to how can we help our kids become great students, great athletes, and great people. And in my position, there aren't a lot of people that I can turn to and say, do you understand the pressure of parents and kids and coaches and teams? And he's one of those people that I've been able to turn to and get feedback that helps us put our kids in the best position to be successful in life. And that's something that he'll continue to help with beyond this year.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And one thing that I wonder, right, is Coach Dave, your record is 1,010 career basketball wins, which is just, when you say that number out loud, it's just incredible. But, I assume were many losses in between those numbers, right? And what do you say to a team when they experience one of those losses? What is that conversation like post game with your kiddos?
Well, in life, you're going to have losses, and I think it's how you deal with them. It's easy to deal with wins, and I think, being humble when you win, and when you lose, you realize that another day will come, the sun will come up. You just have to learn how to deal with it and keep going forward. And I've so many young women have done that in their lives, have gone on to professions, doctors, lawyers, super moms, teachers, and they all have had some setbacks, which is similar in a way to losing a game, I guess, especially what they think a big game. And I think that's one of the life lessons, that you're not going to win every time. Not everyone's always going to get a trophy, but you deal with it and you move forward and make things better for yourself and for everyone else.
Yeah, it's such an important life lesson. It's so good to have that impact your students and the girls that you coach in such a positive way that they can take that with them and carry that lesson with them as they move forward into college and into their later years in life. But you have won 3 Illinois state championships, and 2 of them happen to have been at FENWICK. So we're curious to know what you remember about those championships, or what you remember about those teams in particular as you worked with them throughout the years.
Well, the first one, 1987, I was at Immaculate Heart of Mary High School in Westchester. And in 86, we thought we'd win it, and I had 4 starters come down with measles on the day of the super sectionals, would decide if you go down state or not. This 87, we did go down and we won it all. And Gene Pingatore had not won one. He was at St. Joe's, and it was an exciting time. And I left there when FENWICK went co-ed. And when I left there, I had another team that was pretty sure they'd win a state title. And I came to FENWICK in 1992-93 with freshman girls only. And at that time, I was thinking, boy, it's going to be a long time before I get a team that, can get to that level. And I was wrong. It happened pretty quick. 2001 was a wonderful time. We went down there and beat Marshall in the quarterfinal with a young woman named Cappy Pondexter. She's a great player, plays in the WNBA. And that was, a great accomplishment for the girls so quickly. In 2007, my daughter, Erin, led the team to a state championship, and coaching her for the 4 years, was amazing. At times, I wish I was a little bit more of a dad than a coach with her, but she ended up being a very strong leader. And today, she still leads because she's my boss as department chairperson here at FENWICK. So it keeps going.
See, it pays to be nice, right? In my current role, right, I am the current principal. Some of my teachers are still here. So one of my math teacher, he says all the time, it pays to be nice to your students because they may come back as your boss. So, I think that's like a perfect segue to you, Scott. Scott, you're an alum of FENWICK, class of 1999. What does that feel like to be back in this position, leading a school that obviously means so much to you? What does that feel like for you?
It's great. I came back to FENWICK because I believe in the mission. Being surrounded by people like Coach Power, our faculty, staff, we're mission focused. And, every day I really feel like our faculty, staff, coaches, administrators all collectively work together in the best interests of our kids. And I think Coach Power is the best example of that.
And Scott,
Scott, is it safe to say that this is the dream job?
Yeah, it has its moments, but I absolutely love FENWICK. Actually, my son will be a freshman next year, which will be awesome for me. I don't know if he'll love it as much, but I started out as a teacher and coach, and it's a place I absolutely love, and I'm fortunate to work at every single day with the people that I do.
Yeah, it's so fun to hear about people teaching and coaching their own kids. I think that's just one of the gems of Catholic schools, too, is that there's a legacy for so many families with their school, and there's such a tight-knit community that it's just a family of families, literally sometimes, which is fantastic. So, Scott, I'm wondering, too, if there's a favorite speech or a moment that you have with Coach Dave. My notes here in front of me say that Coach Dave is very talkative. So do you have a favorite moment or a favorite speech that you remember?
Well, there are quite a few, because if you know Coach Power, he's a unique individual, to say the least. But there are a couple that stand out. One, I was actually in his PE health class as a student, and he used to take us down to the gym, and we would play pig or horse, and there would be 25 kids trying to knock Coach Power out. And he would get us to the point where we both had PI, and whoever makes the next shot is probably going to knock out the person that they're playing against. Well, he always reverted back to getting down on his knees and shooting a three-pointer to knock out the kids in his class. And that's something I'll never forget. It was absolutely hilarious. And then as a young coach, I probably had 7 wins. He had 800, and we would sit in the faculty cafeteria with the salt and pepper shaker, talking X's and O's and going through those things. And for me, the humility, he always prescribed the idea of a great idea is a great idea no matter where it comes from. And that's something I'll take with me for the rest of my career.
That's fantastic. Stay with us, both of you. We are going to pause for a brief break, but for all of our listeners, stay with us. There's more Catholic Schools Today coming your way.
At Catholic Charities, we fight hunger in Chicago throughout the year. Our 6 regional offices in Cook and Lake counties work together to offer sit-down and to-go meals to anyone in need. We deliver meals to those who are homebound, and our 8 food pantries offer 3 to 4 days of food supplies based on household size. Participants in these programs have the opportunity to learn about other Catholic charity services that strengthen individuals, families, and their communities. The challenges for those dealing with food insecurity are especially great during the winter months. To learn how you can help those who are hungry in your neighborhood, visit CatholicCharities.net or call 312-655-7525. That's 312-655-7525. Thank you for your generosity.
I feel special. I feel great. I got good grades.
We've seen a huge surge in our kids now meeting or exceeding grade level. Come check us out. You may have never thought we were an option before.
Ancestry and genealogy are more important every day. People all over the world are wanting to learn more about their family heritage for personal and for health reasons. At Catholic Charities, we are hearing from adults who lived for a brief time at St. Vincent's Orphanage, the wonderful life-affirming agency that operated out of our headquarters for 91 years, serving thousands of women, children, and families until it closed in 1972. Our post-adoption services help adults who want to learn more about their experience at St. Vincent's. Our compassionate staff members provide whatever family background information they can offer, along with support and reunion services. To learn more, call 312-655-7093. That's 312-655-7093. The spirit of St. Vincent's lives on in the inspiring stories that continue to emerge today. Welcome back, everyone, to Catholic Schools Today. I'm Melissa Link from the Archdiocese of Chicago, Office of Catholic Schools. I'm joined remotely this morning by Ronnie Faison, principal at St. Francis de Sales High School. We're broadcasting live on WNDZ Radio 750 AM, as well as streaming on our YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. We are back with guests from Fenwick High School. We're continued to be joined by Dave Power, head coach of the Fenwick girls basketball team, and Scott Tice, director of athletics at Fenwick. And we've been chatting a little bit about basketball at Fenwick and how Fenwick loves Coach Power. Welcome back to you both.
So, Coach Power, I got a question, right? You obviously had an amazing career. Why Fenwick, right? Why did you choose to spend, a large majority of your career at Fenwick? What were the things that kept you there?
Well, they went co-ed in 1992-93, and all my experience has been all girls Catholic schools. And I thought it was a great opportunity, just not for me, but my family. Both my son and my daughter were very young, and I thought Fenwick would be great because obviously at Immaculate Heart, my son couldn't go there. So coming there, and it was the challenge of taking a program from just the very beginning and seeing how I could take it, how far I could take it. So coming to Fenwick, it was the people. In the early days, at Rich Borst, Dr. Quaid, we had Mr. Neitzler, and just a bunch of people that I really kind of, could see that they were really supportive of the school going co-ed. It was a big jump from being all boys school all that time. So I was just very impressed with the whole attitude, I guess, of the fact they wanted to make that work. Because my experience was with the all-girls school, and it worked out beautifully. The school has really grown. Scott's being a little modest. He's had this year more hardware than you find at a hardware store. He's gotten state championships in football, cross country. The girls took third in tennis. I'm probably missing one, so that's just this year alone. So he's taking the athletic program. But the other thing was the students. I really felt that the student body would embrace kind of what my idea, my goal, my dream of to take FENWICK into a co-ed environment that not only was great for the boys but great for the girls, and that's how I see it today. It's a wonderful place to be at, and it's been a fact that 29 years has gone by very quickly. That's for sure.
So I do have a selfish question, right? What advice would you give to a school, right, who was rebuilding their sports programs, right? And what advice would you give them as they start on that progress toward growing into a school like FENWICK? Like, what advice would you have for them?
Well, you have to stress the academics. If you see that kids are going to, great top-notch schools, and the academics are really strong, that's always for girls a real important thing, but for the boys as well, because, they're not going to go pro. Most of them will not. And even if you go pro and the girls' side, the WNBA doesn't pay much more than a lot of other jobs. So I would say, here's my little prescription is get the kids when they're very young, 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 4th grade, and start programs for them, whether it's camps, clinics, travel programs, but do it yourself. Don't depend on others. You have to have hands-on and get relationships going. You build those relationships and you'll have a fair number of kids come to your school, and not all of them are going to come, but to make your program successful.
Thank you so much for that.
Love that focus on academics and relationships. And Coach, if I'm hearing you correctly as I'm listening kind of between the lines, I'm kind of hearing a love for empowering women too, which really strikes me because I was a teacher in girls' schools as well, like you, for 14 of the 17 years that I was a Catholic school teacher in 3 different girls' schools. So would that be fair to say that in your coaching career, you really were intentional about empowering women and about being inclusive to women and making sure that girls have the same opportunities as boys in athletic programs?
That question is for me?
That question is for
yes.
you, sure.
Going back to earlier, my sister proved to me that girls are getting a short end of the stick. Thank God for Title IX, 1972, it all changed.
Right.
And that's what I think this sports provides for women. And I also like the all-girls school versus the co-ed school. It's a, whatever niche you fall into, whatever you feel more comfortable with. But as far as empowering young women, I think that they realize that they can go on to great things. The job market's really improved. Going up the ladder a lot further than we used to. We still have a little more work to do, but I hope that when the young girls are done being with me for 3-4 years, some of them, I can't believe it'd be that long, have learned to deal with a little bit of pressure, deal with a little bit of adversity, and that I think makes them a lot stronger.
Fantastic. Thank you for that.
I think, as we talk about, St. Valentine's Day, and I want to get it right because, Tom Zabierski would kill me if I just said Valentine's. So I'm St. Valentine's Day. What are things that the two of you love about FENWICK, right? What has made you fall in love with the school as a whole? I can only speak for myself. I fall in love with Francis a little more every day. I take my drive 6 minutes to work every day, and I go, they pay me to do this job, right? It still feels, I still get butterflies, right? What are the things about FENWICK, right, that gives you those proverbial butterflies?
Yeah, just to start, I think Coach Power hit it on the head. Relationships is huge. Coach to coach, teacher to student, coach to athlete, parent to school community. I mean, it all matters. I think relationships are huge. And the other thing I love about FENWICK is I really think we tap into every kid's unique potential. And that's our mission, to help kids achieve their unique potential in and out of the classroom. Clubs and activities, athletics, science, math, social studies, on down the line. That's something I love about FENWICK.
Coach Power, how about yourself?
The thing I liked, all my friends in the faculty end In particular, the science, believe it or not, maybe that goes back to my butterfly days. There's a retired Golden Apple winner, Ramsey Ferran, who coached the academic teams. They had various names, the Jets, NH, whatever. All I can tell you is I call them the Brainiac teams. Kids that were really smart, and they competed against other schools. And they won almost all the time. They actually won a national championship. I think they came in second a couple times. And I enjoyed realizing that coaching doesn't just have to be sports. It can be activities. It can be, various things. As a teacher, you're coaching. So you're always coaching. And so I learned that. And the support teachers that come to a lot of the games. And that's the first thing. The second one is the kids. I always feel like we have more kids that remind me of Leave It to Beaver. I know that dates me, but that era, they're just really great kids. And I really look forward to seeing them each day. And when I walk the halls, hey, Coach Power, because of the mask, most of the time I don't even know who they are, but it's a great feeling.
Love that.
Love that too. That's so Dominican, Coach. I've taught at 2 Dominican schools, and really just the preaching through action and the preaching through coaching and preaching through positivity and preaching through good words sounds like something that you're committed to and something that you do every day. Scott, we're wondering as we wrap up if you can give us a phone number or a website for our listeners who might want to learn a little bit more about Fenwick.
Sure. Our website is www.fenwickfriars.com. And our telephone number, 708-386-0127. Give us a call, shoot us an email, check our website out. It's a great, great place for all students, athletes, people interested in being successful in high school and beyond.
Great. Thank you very much, Scott. Thank you very much, Coach Dave, for being with us today. We are going to pause now for a brief break, but stay with us. There's more Catholic Schools Today coming your way.
Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Catholic Charities has continued to respond to the needs of people who come to us for assistance. More than 850,000 meals and food parcels have been offered to those who are struggling with food insecurity. Over 108,000 homelessness prevention hotline calls have been answered. Over 22,000 people have received mental health services, and $2 million in financial assistance has been provided to keep people housed. If you or someone you know needs assistance, email us at gethelp@catholiccharities.net. That's gethelp@catholiccharities.net. Or call 312-655-7700. That's 312-655-7700. Before, during, and after COVID-19, Catholic Charities is here for you.
I am a seminarian.
The Church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
What inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
The cemetery ministry is a core ministry of our Catholic faith tied to the corporal works of mercy. It's comforting to know that our Catholic cemeteries are caring for the remains of our loved ones awaiting the resurrection. There are 44 Archdiocese of Chicago Catholic cemeteries willing to help you in your time of loss. Call 708-449-6100 or visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org. Catholic Cemeteries, serving the Catholic community since 1837.
You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Welcome back, everyone, to Catholic Schools Today. I'm Melissa Link from the Archdiocese of Chicago, Office of Catholic Schools. I'm joined remotely this morning by Ronnie Faison, principal at St. Francis de Sales High School. We are broadcasting live on WNDZ Radio 750 AM, as well as streaming on our YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. We're ready to welcome two more fantastic guests to the show. Ronnie, do you want to introduce our next guests?
I'm so excited. Anytime we get to talk to kiddos, it's like, the best part of my day. So we have two amazing kiddos and teachers and principals that are going to come and talk to us this morning. So this morning, we're so pleased to welcome Shane. Shane, I don't want to ruin your last name, so please correct me.
Stashik.
I wanted to get it right. I said, I'm not going to ruin this morning. He's the principal of Lady of the Mount Carmel Academy. And Courtney, give me your last name. Miss Pileggi, teacher and science Olympiad coach, and Our Lady of Mount Carmel Academy Science Olympiad team was qualified and competed in tournaments for over the last 10 years. It's beautiful. The team recently won the University of Chicago's Science Olympiad tournament. These tournaments test students' skills on hands-on events that include building bridges to sustain a certain weight, flying homemade model airplanes, excuse me very much, and designing vehicles that use mousetraps to propel a certain distance. Welcome, Shane and Courtney. It also seems like you have two amazing kiddos with you. Who do we have with us this morning?
I have with me Joseph Costanzo, 8th grader. And,
hi, Joseph.
Welcome, Joseph.
Member of the Science Olympiad team and the third child of his family to do Science Olympiad at our school.
Fantastic.
Oh my, so you're a legacy.
And his parents coach also.
Great. And Miss Courtney, who do you have with you?
And I have Ellie Youngquist with us. She's also an 8th grader on our varsity team. Ellie's been doing Science Olympiad for quite a few years, and her parents also coach. She's also she had an older brother who did Science Olympiad as well. So she's been involved for many years.
Fantastic.
So more royalty today on the show, Melissa. It seems like we just have these superheroes with us this morning.
I know. I'm smiling ear to ear. It's fantastic. It's a great way to wake up and spend a Monday Valentine's Day. Thanks to everyone for joining us. I learned a new word this morning when I was looking at the notes for this segment of the show. The new word that I learned is ornithology. Can someone explain that word to me and to help us understand that? It sounds like ornithology is something that the Science Olympiad team is committed to and is part of what you study as part of your program.
Absolutely. Ornithology is the study of birds. Mm-hmm. It's the scientific study of birds, and it is one of our test events. Science Olympiad is not like the science fair of the past that some of us did when we were kids. It really is more like an Olympic competition. There are 23 different events, and students compete in 3 to 4 events per student. So they have to specialize across multiple disciplines, and ornithology is one of those events. It is a test style event, and there are typically 3 types of events. Would you like to know more about them?
We'd love to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So events are typically in one of 3 categories. They're either test events, lab events, or build events. And test events are events like ornithology. They really test a student's knowledge of a particular subject or topic. So in a test event, students would take a written test and they would have to answer questions about this topic. We have lots of events that are test events like disease detectives, meteorology, Crave the Wave, rocks and minerals, solar system, anatomy and physiology, and dynamic planet. And I think Ellie and Joseph, you each have one of these, yes?
Yeah, we do disease together.
Yeah. That is definitely not like the science fair that I remember. I don't know about you, Ronnie, but that was not my science fair experience.
I planted an onion is what I did. So I'm fully coming aware. It was nothing like this. This is amazing.
Absolutely. And, the test events are just one component. So students also have two other types of events that they compete in. Another type of event is called a lab event. And this event usually involves kind of a combination of a test and actually performing experiments or using skills to solve real world problems. So, for example, in the Crime Busters event, students would have to find the culprit who committed a crime by testing different powders, liquids, using lab techniques to figure out, which person is most likely to have committed the crime. We also have events like bioprocess lab, experimental design, and food science, where students are kind of building their own equipment and using it in the lab. There are also some fun ones like Codebusters and Road Scholar and Write It, Do It. In Codebusters, students actually decode codes or ciphers, and they do it without pretty much any help. They just become experts. In Road Scholar, they analyze maps and topography. And Write It, Do It is kind of a play on like writing instructions to build something. So if you've ever tried to build an IKEA shelf and you've looked at those instructions and thought, oh my gosh, what person did this? We're actually practicing this at the science competition level. So lab events are really neat.
You can feel the excitement in your voice, and that's so exciting. I hear, Principal Shane, is that OLMCA was one of the smallest schools competing at the University of Chicago tournament. How are the kids? How do you prepare them for that arena, right? We're a tiny school on the Southeast side, so I totally get that feeling, right? Of kind of feeling like the underdogs. How do you prepare your students for that? Ms. Courtney, how do you prepare your students for that and playing on that larger platform?
Yeah, well, they're prepared. This is a long season, so that's one of the things that's really great for students, but challenging for students. So most teams start studying late October, probably at the latest, early November at the absolute latest, and so it's a very long season. So by the time they were at the University of Chicago, they're a pretty confident group. We had already competed in 5 or 6 tournaments. There's certainly a level of excitement when you go into a tournament, whether it's remotely, even more when it is in person. And so, but the students are prepared. They have fun. I think there's a lot of camaraderie among the team, and they have a great job. So we've really worked our way up. This is our 10th year of doing Science Olympiad. So we had a 10 years ago, a parent said, "Hey, I heard about this neat event and was familiar with it from another school." And Joanne Blake, our science teacher at the time, who has since retired but still comes back to coach Science Olympiad, gave it a try, and we sort of stumbled through the first year, and then we've had a lot of success since then and just continued to build upon the program. But it'd be great if more Catholic schools, more City of Chicago schools got involved. It's a great program. I highly recommend it. It's kind of dominated by the most part in Illinois by a lot of large suburban schools. So these are schools that might have 300, 400, or 500 middle school students that they pull their 15 or 30 students from. And we're a school of about 75 middle schoolers. So it's still 15 kids versus 15 kids, but the pool is a lot larger with the schools we compete in. But we've managed to kind of make up for it with really enthusiastic volunteer coaches and hardworking students.
Yeah, we definitely want to learn more about the program, but we're going to pause right now for a really brief break. Stay with us, though. There's more Catholic Schools Today coming your way. Catholic Charities Veterans Employment Services help veterans find and maintain employment through job readiness training, resume writing assistance, mock interviews, and job placement counseling. We work with a wide array of employers and community partners to help veterans reach their career goals. We owe a debt of gratitude to all of our veterans for the sacrifices they made to serve our nation. It is our privilege now to assist them. To learn more about Catholic Charities Veterans Employment Program in Cook County, call 773-808-2954. In Lake County, call 847-782-4219. You can also learn more at CatholicCharities.net. To all United States veterans, thank you for your service.
Welcome back.
Es fabuloso verlos.
Dobrze jest znowu być razem.
It's good to be together again.
After so many months apart, pandemic capacity limits have been lifted, and we want to welcome everyone back to church. We can all pray together again. And listen as our choirs lift their voices in song.
We've been together in spirit.
And now, when you are ready, our doors are open wide.
Nuestras puertas están abiertas de par en par.
Nasze drzwi są otwarte.
And we're here to welcome you back to Catholic Mass.
Welcome back, everyone, to Catholic Schools Today. I'm Melissa Link from the Archdiocese of Chicago, Office of Catholic Schools, and I'm joined remotely by Ronnie Faison, principal at St. Francis de Sales High School. We're broadcasting live on WNDZ Radio 750 AM, as well as streaming on our YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. We're pleased to continue our conversation with Shane Stashik and Courtney Pelagi from Our Lady of Mount Carmel Academy. Welcome back to both of you as we continue to talk about the Science Olympiad program. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you.
I'd really love to hear from the kiddos since we've got two great 8th graders joining us.
Yeah. Step up.
Yeah.
Spotlight, Joe.
8th graders, what's been your favorite part of being part of a Science Olympiad team? Were you excited to be at the University of Chicago? Were you a little nervous? What were you feeling?
I was excited because I've already done that competition, and I think I was prepared for it, so I was ready to do it.
I can feel your confidence. That's great.
How about you, Ellie?
I think I was excited too. I mean, it's nice because I've done it for so long that it's I'm really lucky to be able to do it. And so because of that, it's nerves have just turned into the excitement of getting to come back and do something I really love.
That's great. We can see you both smiling, which is a fantastic sign of how much you love being part of the group. Great.
The next question is one of those things, and as a teacher and an administrator, it's, obviously it's going to be okay, we've already answered this question 65 times, but I think it's an important question, and I just want to get your perspective on it. But, COVID has kind of taken over our lives for the last, 2-3 years at this point. How has that changed the way that you prepare for the tournament, but also how it's been carried out in the last 2 years? And has that affected any of the in-person kind of competition aspects that you guys have experienced?
Sure. Well, it's definitely different. When we started, so right before the pandemic, in kind of when everything changed for us in March of 2020, we had just gotten our regional competition over with, and we won a bid to state. We were very excited to be going to the state competition, but of course it was canceled because all schools were canceled that spring. And that was really disappointing to students and to everybody who loves this program and who put so much effort into it. So a lot of work was done over that summer in 2020 to make sure that the program would continue. And what they decided on was a format where there's an online platform now where students take the test. And instead of us going to a school or a university in person, because they have a lot of restrictions about who can be on campus, now we're actually competing from our own school building. So instead of being on campus at University of Chicago, this year we competed at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Academy. And students took tests, and for our build events, so those are the devices that we build and that we run and test, we take videos of those, and then we submit them to a central event supervisor who will then grade them and who runs the whole event. So it has been a big change, but we like doing meets at OLMCA. It's fun. We still get to order pizza and have lunch in the cafeteria, and the students still get to work in teams. Each event has a team of 2 or 3 students who compete. So they're actually working together. They're able to talk to each other. And I think that this is really where being in person for the past 2 school years has really allowed our students to shine. They've been able to work together. They've been in class together. They've been able to have practices at school. And they're not doing this from home, right, or doing this from Zoom this year. They're really able to connect with each other and with the coaches. And I think that's part of the reason why we've had such a strong performance both this season and last season.
Last year was especially important because it was really one of the few with sports canceled. This is a great way for us to have some school spirit and a competitive season. So when some schools unfortunately didn't have much, Science Olympiad, while not exactly how it was in person, but it still carried on, and students got to be part of a team and compete and have school spirit. And it opened up some things. This year you could compete nationally, so we remotely competed in a tournament in Ohio, and a tournament in Wisconsin. We competed against teams from California, New York, Florida. So the competitions really became more nationwide competitions, which was kind of unique, and you could test yourself against some of the better schools all over the country, not just the schools that were in driving distance.
That is unique.
But we're anxious to get back in person, no doubt.
Yeah,
Our exciting experience.
The pandemic certainly has changed everything for sure. And Shane, we've been told that your school has a special relationship with DePaul College Prep. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, Courtney, actually, her older daughter goes to DePaul, and she knows a little bit more. So I'm going to let Courtney talk about this one.
Sure, absolutely. This actually got started because one of our coaches, our volunteer coaches, Christy Grant, her daughter, Audrey, is in Science Olympiad, and she coaches the bioprocess lab. And she connected with one of the teachers at DePaul College Prep at I think an open house or some kind of DePaul event. And we started a partnership where DePaul is actually letting our students come to their school and use their state-of-the-art science lab and also their 3D printing lab. So we've had one occasion where it was kind of a big field trip. We brought a whole bunch of students over there. They got to extract DNA using an experiment, and they got to 3D print chromosomes. So it was really a wonderful event. We've got another one coming up later on in February. So it's really kind of exciting to get that partnership going. I know DePaul is thinking about maybe getting a Science Olympiad team going at the high school level for next year. So this is both a middle and a high school competition. We would love to be able to send a lot of our great SCIO students over there so that they could continue in high school.
I love that. So as we look, you guys have seen some amazing success, and I'm inspired just hearing you guys talk. My mind is kind of racing. I'm going, okay, I got to get to my science department and tell them all about this. So I think it's just so beautiful what you're doing. But, as you look back on all the progress that you've made, what are some of the projects that just kind of shine for you? Those projects that you go, we really did an amazing job. And I'm sure you feel that about each one, but are there some specific projects that you just really feel like you guys just knocked it out of the park with?
Well, one event that was really really representative of our school was we competed in a very competitive tournament in Ohio, and we got an award because there had a lot of extra events and trial events. So our students had to compete in a whole lot of extra events. And that was one that was really, really great because we had students that were not familiar with these events, but they volunteered and they said they would try it. And some of them you had till midnight to complete the test. And I know we had students at 11 o'clock at night still trying to do these extra tests. And it allowed us to be right up there on the medal podium with some nationally ranked schools for doing this extra work. And that was really impressive because the students went above and beyond. The students probably put in an extra, I would say minimum of probably 3 to 5 hours extra a week where they're meeting after school with the coach 3 times a week for different events and sometimes even more. So you're talking about students most of our students already play a sport, they're in a musical, and so now they're also doing 3 or 4 extra hours a week of homework, which for a middle school student, that's a big ask, but they do it because I think they like the program. They have a lot of school spirit and they enjoy doing it.
Yes,
so that was a memorable one for me.
All working
well, and it
really
sounds like
hard.
you have amazing support system. I mean, just talking to you guys, I mean, you're saying words, but what you're giving is just that emotion and just feeling of like you really are so passionate about the work that you do, and that's something you can't make up, right, or fake. Like this is just so real. So they're only successful as a result of you and the work that you guys do in your spaces all the time. So just as a moment to just say kudos to all the work that you do and the love that you put into the work that you do.
Absolutely. We're going to pause right now for one more brief break, but continue to stay with us. There's more Catholic Schools Today coming your way.
I feel special. I feel great. I got good grades.
We've seen a huge surge in our kids now meeting or exceeding grade level. Come check us out. You may have never thought we were an option before.
Welcome back, everyone, to Catholic Schools Today. I'm Melissa Link from the Archdiocese of Chicago, Office of Catholic Schools. I'm joined remotely by Ronnie Faison, principal at St. Francis de Sales High School. We're broadcasting live on WNDZ Radio 750 AM, as well as streaming on our YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. We're pleased to continue our conversation with Shane Stashik and Courtney Pelegi from Our Lady of Mount Carmel Academy. Welcome back to both of you. We have about 5 minutes left in our show this morning.
Melissa, one of the things that I wanted to ask them is that, I feel like, this can't be just like a principal-teacher deal, right? Like, I am sure that there are a host of people that help and support this process and the work that you guys are doing with the tournament. Can you talk a little bit about that support system and what it means to your school?
Oh, absolutely. We could not do this without the support of our parent community and the school community at large. We have 24 volunteer coaches. So this includes me, it includes Shane, and it includes many of our parents and alumni. So that is how the students are learning about these events and preparing and building the devices. It's through the help of our volunteer coaching staff. At some of the big suburban public schools, they have teachers who are paid to do this, and the students do it as a class in school. That is not the case with us. This all happens as an extracurricular activity outside regular school time, and we could not do it with the dedication of our parent and volunteer alumni coaches who do this for us. So it's a huge shout out to them. we absolutely need you, and we realize that the great work we do comes from your dedication at the beginning.
I can just hear that you love what you do, that it's really, truly a passion for you as a teacher and for you, Shane, as a principal, which is perfect for Valentine's Day. And since we've got 4 of you from the school on the call, we're both curious. Ronnie and I are really interested to hear about what you love most about Our Lady of Mount Carmel Academy, since it is Valentine's Day today. What do you love the most?
Joseph, why don't you go first?
So I think my favorite part, what I love most about our school, is the teachers and how much extra work and time they put into our school so that we can have an enjoyable day and we can go home happy and look forward to coming to school. And they add a bunch of extra fun activities, but make sure we're still learning what we need to learn.
And Ellie,
I'd say it's kind of hard for me to not love OLMC because I've been here for so long. I mean, I've never been to a different school. I've been at OLMC for 11 years. Like my whole life I've spent here, and it's amazing. I mean, it's a smaller school, but it's like a family in that way. And I know everyone, and it's just so enjoyable. And even the opportunities we have here for things after school, like Science Olympiad, there's so many schools where that's just not an option. And I'm really proud to go here, and I love it.
That is so exciting. We're so thankful that you guys have decided to spend the morning with us and come and talk about your wonderful school. Really quick, last thing, can we get an email and a phone number for your school?
Sure, olmca.org will take you to the website. Has everything on there that we're doing. We have a lot of great fun activities. We have an open house coming up on February 27th if you want to check out the school, but olmca.org.
Great. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You guys were wonderful. Have a wonderful 8th grade year. And thank you guys for spending the morning with us. To everyone else, I want to thank you for joining us today. Remember, you can share this program by copying our YouTube link to our social media and email accounts. The program comes your way monthly on WNDZ 7:50 a.m. and our Facebook page and our I do this every month. Archdiocese of Chicago YouTube channel, Catholic Chicago. Happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Join us every Monday through Friday at this time for Catholic Chicago. You can stream our programs live or listen to past programs by visiting our website, archchicago.org, and clicking on Radio TV. And please connect with Catholic Chicago on social media.
I feel special. I feel great. I got good grades.
We've seen a huge surge in our kids now meeting or exceeding grade level. Come check us out. You may have never thought we were an option before.